Okay, welcome back. We have a really great band today. It's a super group, so let's get into it. Today I'm covering Killer Be Killed, Reluctant Hero. This is a metal super group. It comprises Max Cavalera on guitar, and we know him from Soulfly, Sepultura, Cavalera Conspiracy, and Nailbomb. We have Greg Puciato on guitar, and we know him from the Dillinger Escape Plan. And we have Troy Sanders on bass, who we know from Mastodon. The three members that I just mentioned all will share frontman duties. But in order to complete the band, we have on drums Ben Kohler, and he played in the band Converge. So we have a lot of different musical styles here, musical influences. We have thrash, nu metal, sludge metal, stoner metal, doom metal, metalcore, and mathcore. That last one is like a subgenre pioneered by the Dillinger Escape Plan. And they used like advanced calculus to create their songs or something like that. I don't know, but something you got to check out. Now this band has a lot of different styles. Sometimes they sound like Black Sabbath. They can be progressive, thrashy. There are elements of groove metal. You hear some metalcore, some hardcore punk, and some crossover thrash. We got a lot going on here. So with that being said, let's go through the album. Okay, the album is titled Reluctant Hero, and the first track is Deconstructing Self-Destruction. So this song kicks off with a robotic voice, but the guitars come in quickly. You can hear the three main members alternating vocal duties on this, as in most of the other songs. You can easily distinguish who is singing. For example, Max Cavalera uses his deep, like Sepultura era vocal style, while Greg Puciato and Troy Sanders, they have more of a cleaner vocal style. Track number 2 is Dream Gone Bad. This is a heavy song, a little more of a sludge metal feel, more along the lines of like a Mastodon song. At the 2-minute mark, there's a thrashy breakdown, and Max Cavalera comes to the forefront. The riff here reminds me of early 90s Sepultura. Track number 3 is Left of Center. This one starts off with a heavy riff, and Greg and Troy are exchanging vocal duties at first. There are also these like psychedelic groovy guitar fills throughout, some thrash metal elements here. You hear the thrash metal, this is when you know when like Max Cavalera is coming into the song. Track number 4, Inner Calm from Outer Storms. So this one opens up with a drum fill and there's some futuristic bass sounds and there's some really cool futuristic effects. The song is at like a slower pace. It's a little more of a sludgy, like stoner metal song. You can hear Greg and Troy on the vocals again. At the near 2-minute mark, it gets thrashy. This is when Max comes in. The song has a lot of textures, and the second half of the song gets very heavy. The next track is Filthy Vagabond. This one like rips right out of the starting gate. Has like a hardcore punk feel, very energetic. It gets a little sludgy at the 1.5 minute mark, and at the 2.5 minute mark, it gets a little like Sabbathy. Even the vocals remind me of like early like Ozzy Osbourne on this one. Now this is the first song where I didn't hear Max Cavalera. I don't know if he was somewhere in the background, but I didn't really hear him. The next track is From a Crowded Wound. So I like this song a lot. The riff is slow and futuristic. It reminds me of a lot of Voivod. The opening guitar solo is very sludgy and groovy. The vocals also remind me of the Ozzy era Black Sabbath too. There are a lot of heavy riffs. Max Cavalera comes in at the 3.5 minutes. To be honest with you, I feel he kind of like lacks presence on this album. But I'll get into that more later. The song has a cool psychedelic interlude, and it goes into a thrashy riff. There's a lot going on here, a lot of different sounds and textures. This is the longest song at a little over 7 minutes. Next is The Great Purge. This one has an early 80s thrash feel at first, but then it takes a turn and gets a little more atmospheric and futuristic. This one is probably a little more reminiscent of a Mastodon song. It's a little slower than the others, but has cool psychedelic textures and a futuristic atmosphere. So at a little over 3 minutes, it gets very thrashy. The next track is Comfort for Nothing. So this one has an early 80s thrash feel. Max Cavalera comes into the song earlier than usual, but still he does lack presence. He does seem to have equal footing on the song. I feel the song is a little more thrashier than the others. Has these cool Voivod-like futuristic sounds, and I really like that. Next is Animus. This is a 1 minute 8 second song, very hardcore and thrashy. It comes right out of the gate. It takes a little like a psychedelic turn midway, but they packed a lot into that 1 minute. We have two more songs. The next one is Dead Limbs. This song is thrashy, it's fast. You can hear the Mastodon sludgy influence. You hear Max Cavalera a little early in the song, but not as much in the second half. At the 2 minute mark, there's a breakdown, it's very atmospheric. The bass line is psychedelic, and the heavy guitars definitely come back to knock you over towards the end. The last song is Reluctant Hero. This is the title track. And the final song on the album, it has a slow intro, they're clean guitars, and it has like a very dark atmosphere. The distorted guitars come in around 2 minutes. It's a little quiet, then the heavy sludgy guitars come in. The vocals sound a little bit like Ozzy on this one also. This is a 6 minute song. I mean, you could probably call it a ballad, but one of the slower songs, but it closes out the album nicely. Conclusion. So this album has a lot to offer. I mean, you can listen to it on multiple occasions and it has a lot to absorb because a lot of different sounds and textures. So it's a good album to listen to headphones if you want to chill out and smoke and just like relax, or if you need to feel like energetic, this album is also good for that too. So my big complaint is that I'm a big fan of Max Cavalera. I'm a longtime Sepultura fan. I like all of his bands, Soulfly, Cavalera, Conspiracy, but he lacks presence on this. I felt he was a little more prominent on the other album. I might be wrong, but I kind of like wanted to hear a little more of his influence on this album. But with that being said, it's a solid album. My top tracks are From a Crowded Wound, Comfort for Nothing, and Dead Limbs. I give this a 7 out of 10, only because I wanted a little more of that like Sepultura, but I feel the Mastodon sound almost dominates the album. So please comment below, let me know what you think of the album. Do you like it better than the first album? So let me know down there. I will be doing another new release tomorrow, and during the week I will be trying something new. I'm kind of taking a break from AC/DC. I did it for like 2 weeks. I did a lot of hard rock and classic rock. I want to go into a metal direction. I'm thinking of doing something like lists where I would like choose a specific year and do the top metal songs or something like that. So stay tuned. Until next time, keep on rocking.